there, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you are here, and this video is going to basically be the wrap up of videos for the platform for today, but we will be back tomorrow with more videos, but we're going to go ahead and focus on this one right now. So as you know, we are definitely in the midst of the early days of the beginning of the trial preparational elements of the trial for Diddy and his current predicament that he is in for the charges that have been brought up against him, for the federal charges that have been brought up against him. At this point, I did share a video, I want to say it was probably yesterday, if not yesterday, the day before, where they were basically just starting out on the jury selection process, which looks to be probably taking the complete week being of this week. And we're probably going to look at projectively seeing opening statements next week. So we'll see how all that goes. You know, as these types of things happen, anything can go. Every day could be something new, something different. And if more time is needed, then more time will be needed. So we'll definitely be keeping abreast on that. And I will be sharing updates, of course, as I see them, and, be letting you know what's going on that front. Now, as I've shared before, and you may have already seen, I don't necessarily go through all the particular nitty gritty details of P. Diddy's situation because there's so many of them and they change on a dime every second of the day. Sometimes it felt in the past few months and over the course of the last year or so. But there are a lot of channels who do take the time to do those particular things for those particular situations. So they do a good job at that. I particularly like to look at some of the highlighted areas and some of the things I find interesting as the process, continues on. So I'm looking at more of those type of level things, more or less than going through each and every, specific case and how those details have emerged on that front. So at this point, we probably, I don't know too many people who would not know that Diddy is currently on trial now for those federal charges that include sexual harassment as well as other things. I believe that as trafficking is one of them, and also looking at the enterprise, which is of his situation, how these things were able to move about over these course of many years. So all things, of course, are alleged, but they're going through the trial process at this point. And partly with that in the jury accession, as we all know that when juries are put together, they're normally put together to see what will be the best fitting jurors to be able to proceed with the trial and then, in all intents and purposes, render their verdicts. Now, at this point, it looks like there has been some talks in regards to certain celebrities that have been mentioned, I would like to say. Now, the sharing will say that, they've just been put out there for the most part or been named. But I think when you look at the word named, it kind of makes me a little leery in the sense of, because at that point, it can almost make it feel like, oh, there's something associated with it. And it doesn't appear that that's it at all. Meaning that the names, besides one individual who's not necessarily named as a co-conspirator or anything, but is also shared though in, or not also, but is shared in one of, previous cases in regards to Cassie's situation. So we will get into that here in this sharing. But again, for the individuals that are mentioned in this video, the other A-list celebs, they are not at all connected or being charged for anything associated with what's going on at this point. So, and probably don't expect to see anything like that anyways. But of course, if there's any updates to anything, we'll find out like everybody else, right? But I think that this is more or less just getting a gauge point for jurors to know of certain celebrities to see if they're aware of the pop culture that is, the hip hop world, R&B world, and beyond, right? Because it's not just hip hop and R&B stars that were at his parties or in his gatherings or that he was friends with. He's pretty much the Tinseltown, if you will. If Tinseltown was a person, it really felt a lot like on the musical scene, it was him. So that being said, again, just wanted to make sure I put that out there that these individuals are not at all associated, but just I think that the questioning is just there for familiarity and how much the jurors may know or be aware of these individuals. Also to that point, as if you may have recalled, if you have been following this case, there was some assertions being made that there was a possibility that some co-conspirator individuals would be probably named in the March timeframe of this year. I didn't see an actual list that came out. But there was some projection of possibility that there could be. But, that does seem like a very hot tamale type of situation and may not want to do that because you don't know how that's going to, render how this process goes in as the trial is concerned. So I don't think there was any kind of formal list or anything like that that's come out. There's definitely been a lot of speculations. There's been conversations about associations of individuals, but nothing to the point where we're saying, yeah, specifically this person did this person did that. Now, there may be individuals who might be reporting different things, so you feel free to, do your own research, of course, or, get involved in whatever you wish to believe. So that being said, though, all things alleged until we get the final results, as I always say, when these types of cases or any type of situation where someone's being alleged to have done something. So at this point, let's go ahead and break into this particular sharing and get a feel for what is going on currently. All right, so let's see. This particular sharing is coming from Men's Journal. It says the surprise A-list actors that were named at Sean Diddy Combs' trial. All right, so it further shares that several surprise A-list actors and singers had their names dropped during jury selection on the first day of Sean Diddy Combs' trial in New York City. Now, according to People, the stars mentioned included actors Michael B. Jordan and Mike Myers and rappers Kid Cudi and Kanye West. However, none of them is accused of criminal wrongdoing in connection with the high-profile case. Let me repeat that again. However, none of the names that I just listed have been accused of criminal wrongdoing in connection with high-profile case. Now, Michelle Williams of the band Destiny's Child and rapper Young Money were also brought up in court, People had reported. They are also not accused of criminal wrongdoing. Let me repeat. They are also not accused of criminal wrongdoing. Why were they mentioned? Well, potential jurors who are being questioned by the judge during jury selection were read a list of names to determine whether they knew any of them. That list included the celebrities. Now, Judge Aaron Subramanian joked about the list of celebrity names. He says, I felt like I was reading an appendix from The Lord of the Rings. This is what People have reported. However, according to Variety, and just a second here, according to Variety, Kid Cudi may be on the list because prosecutors believe the rapper was the victim of a car explosion they accused Combs of committing in 2011. So now the publication reported that Kid Cudi was dating Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, otherwise known as Cassie, to us mostly, who was a trial star witness. Now, Jordan is not a witness, but could feature in the trial because Combs is accused of being upset that Ventura went on a date with him in 2015, Variety had reported. Now, Young Miami dated Combs in the past, according to the New York Post. And according to the Post, a few of the prospective jurors said they had never heard of any of the celebrities listed. It's not clear what role the other celebrities could play in the trial or what they may testify to if called as witnesses. Now, Variety noted that many celebrities attended Combs' now infamous parties and knew him through music and other ventures, although it's not clear whether the mentioned stars have any link to that. And case in point, because even though the names are being provided here, it doesn't necessarily mean they're being provided even for the concept of saying that they even were in association with him in any level, including those parties. I think it's also just an idea to see, hey, if you are up on pop culture, are these any individuals here that you may be familiar, so they can get a feel for just how, neutral jurors could be. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. But again, as they mentioned here, and I definitely want to mention one more time, that none of the individuals listed as of right now, the ones that have been listed, now there may be other celebrities that might, pop up, names pop up as, time goes on, as they continue to get more information from the jurors of their thoughts or abilities of knowledge, regarding the celebrities. So there might be some others that might, pop up. But as of right now, none of those individuals are connected at all. And it's just basically just looking to see, how many of those jurors, or if any of them know any of these celebrities that are being mentioned. So with that, I think that about wrap it up for this quick update for what is currently going on right now in the Diddy trial that started on May 5th. And if you are watching this video at the time of the upload and recording is of the same day. We're talking here just a few days ago. So that being said, this is, like I said, the case, I feel, one of the cases of the century, and we're all going to be watching to some extent, maybe a lot of us on pins and needles, to see what happens and how things unfold and what we will learn as time goes on, and definitely what the end result will be as to these allegations and how that will play out for Diddy and his future. So with that being said, I definitely would like to know your thoughts. Definitely leave those respectfully down below in the comment section. Of course, again, we will just have to wait and see how things pan out. And I will definitely be keeping abreast of certain things as well, and sharing some of those updates as they do come along. And again, this is going to be the last video for today's upload. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today on these sharings. I did actually also upload 2 more videos earlier today, so I definitely would like to know your thoughts on those in the comment section as well. So definitely take a look, see if you haven't had a chance to view those. We were talking about Smokey Robinson and that horrific situation that he is going through at the moment with his $50 million lawsuit along with his wife, and the fact that he has actually spoken out, and also some details regarding that situation. Again, as I shared in those videos, that trigger warning, because there is a lot of horrific triggering information that is provided as details from the alleged allegations that are presented for this lawsuit. And then also too, Dorit, we and PK are, as we know, are divorcing. And it looks like their mansion, that has been kind of a talk for the last few years, rather, in regards to whether or not they're going to be keeping it or not, is coming back to play as well, with the possibility of them being on the verge of losing said mansion. So definitely would love to know your thoughts on both of those videos. So definitely check those out if you haven't done so before, and definitely chill with me in the comment section below as well. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on those. So with that, I think I'm going to bid you adieu. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, whatever time it is that you're watching this video. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that we can be part of the family. I would so love to have you. And of course, if you're already part of the family, thank you for your continued viewing and listening support. And so with that, I'm going to bid you adieu. You take care, be blessed, and stay safe. And until next time. Oh, and by the way, make sure you keep this all notification bell on, so that way you don't miss my next future uploads. I will be uploading some videos tomorrow as well, so I definitely want to know your thoughts on those, as I love to share mine. So with that, thank you so much again for being here, and I will see you later. Bye.